young lady by the name of Unewo Malaka. How are you doing, Queen?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Ngizwa pressure. I remember when I heard ukuthi I'm going to be speaking to an entire semi-finalist pageant queen, we're Miss Intercontinental South Africa. I was a little stressed. I'm like, what do I wear? Because you cannot come to a bride's house and look better than her. But one thing about you, you're doing it effortlessly.
Oh, thank you so much.
Unjani Neo?
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Ngijabule kakhulu ukuthi uthatha isikhathi sakho wathi uzohlala nathi namhlanje.
Ngiyabonga that you guys invited me. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes, Queen. Uyazi, before we get into izinto ezi-deep, ezi-hectic, uyazi, I want to ask you some questions that are random a bit, you know, because I want to ask you questions that are fit for a queen like yourself.
Okay.
Beauty-related questions. I want to know, Uguti, what is the weirdest beauty tip that you've ever tried?
What is the weirdest beauty tip?
The weirdest
Oh
one.
my goodness, don't judge me, guys.
We shall not.
So,
this is a safe space.
It's a safe space. Okay, so I grew up with like severe acne problems, right?
Okay.
And in high school, there were a lot of us that had skin issues.
Mm-hmm.
So someone passed around the tip that, hey guys, you should try shoe polish, but not the black one. The brown shoe polish.
Oh,
yes.
okay. Yasebenza.
Not really, but sort of. You know, it gave a more matte look.
Okay.
You know, and I remember there was a
Triggered.
there was a day I went to go touch up in the bathroom and I came out and one of the boys was like, why does it smell like shoe polish? And I was like, I pretended like I didn't hear that. I kept on moving about my day. But that is the weirdest skin thing I have ever tried.
It sold you out as weird also, but they didn't know.
No, thank God they didn't know it was me.
No, otherwise they'd be listening back on some.
I'm a police.
Yeah,
one thing about Abantwana. Now let's also talk about interviews, Wako.
Yes.
You are, as someone who is a pageant queen, I'm sure you've been to quite a few interviews before.
Yes.
I want to know, Guti, what is the strangest question that you've ever been asked with pageant interview? Siyazi ukuthi thina masibukela ama-interviews wama-pageant, it's usually, you know, what will you do once you get your crown? Mm-hmm. How are you going to help the community? But what's the strangest question you've got?
The strangest question I've been asked?
Yeah.
I think the question you just asked me is the strangest question I've been asked.
Yeah.
I really think so.
Yeah, it is quite random. Yeah.
It is very random.
But again, let's get into it, Ntombi. You are a graduate from EVIT. Right now, you're studying for your LLB at UNISA.
Yes.
So you're an educated queen as well.
Yes, I am.
Your pageantry, wangena nini kuyo, and ganjani also.
The first pageant that I did, I was 12 years old. I was in grade 6, right? And my school was doing a Miss LPS for the first time.
Sure.
And I remember Littleton Primary School.
Okay.
Yes. And I remember I didn't want to enter because I was like, it's so obvious a grade 7 is going to win. Like, what chance do I stand as a girl in grade 6?
Yeah.
That was the first time I did a pageant, and I ended up winning.
When?
Yes. At grade 6, I was already crowned, and then I stayed away from pageantry until grade 11. Yeah, I think towards the end of high school, and I did Miss Centurion schools, and then I took a break. So I think grade 11, grade 12, I did pageantry again, and I just took a break because I felt like, I don't know, like at the time it wasn't doing what I thought it would do, you know. But now coming back, I think I'm coming back from a more informed place for myself, because at that time I was really doing it for the glitz and the glam. Like, it was just about the dress, the crown, the fancy shoes, and the photos.
Manja, what are you doing it for?
What am I doing it for? Definitely self-empowerment, self-development more than anything, you know. Because right now my focus is the journey more than it is the final night with the crowning and everything like that.
Wow.
Yeah, there's so much that I'm learning about myself throughout this journey, my capabilities, and also just watching myself give back to the community and strive in places that I didn't think I could.
Yeah.
You know, I'm doing it. So, yeah, self-development, definitely.
That's beautiful. As khulume ngawo umsebenzi owenzayo, you just mentioned ukuthi you do some work giving back to the community. Please mention some of the things or some of the works that you've managed to do since you started, especially with Miss Intercontinental South Africa.
So I have been assisting my mom with giving English classes to the kids in our community for the past 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
And last year, around June, July, I introduced ballet.
Wow.
So I've been teaching ballet to the girls in my community for a year now.
That is great.
And it has been so amazing to watch them grow in that area, because for me it feels like ballet is not something that is easily accessible to the black community in general.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And even as a privileged black girl who was able to go to ballet classes, we were very few. So what more of children that don't even have that type of access?
So you're giving them that access.
Yes, I am. And I just love to see it grow. I really want to have a ballet academy one day. For, like, I want black girls to know that they are capable. And that they can do that. I want to see more black ballerinas. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It isn't okay that after all these many years, and she's an amazing dancer, Kitty Petla is still the face of black ballet in South Africa, which is very extraordinary.
But where are the new faces?
After exactly, where are the new faces? We need more of those girls in the space. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to empower them through this.
I hear you. Now, we are so there's how you want to empower young black girls to be able to enter spaces that aren't necessarily made for them.
Yes.
But then we also want to know, Guti, what do you advocate for? What is that one thing that you want to change in Sabeng?
Okay, so definitely my advocacy is still within the realm of children. As I've mentioned with the English classes, I fully believe that education is very important. And I live in an area where most of the children have English as a second language. And I see how they struggle to articulate themselves. They struggle to just to be vocal in spaces. You know what I mean? And I think that that is a very big gap that we have in the country, because a lot of black children who go to predominantly black schools in the townships and in village areas, they have English as a second language, which already sets them back when they get to varsity, because everyone else has already been exposed to English as a first language.
And also, when they want to go for those job interviews,
you know what I mean? There's that language barrier. So it isn't that they're incapable of doing the job and showing up as well as they can. It's just that language barrier. So I think that we need to fix that in this country. Number one, that's the first thing. Number two, I fully believe in sexual education. You know, again, in the schools. I think it's something that is heavily neglected. I'm not saying that what we are taught at primary and high school level is not informative, but I do think that we can delve deeper. And for me,
delve deeper, where is the gap that you are seeing?
I think that the gap is in you know, we have really high stats of sexual abuse in our country.
Yes.
And when we look at the stats of teenage pregnancy, I ask myself how many of those pregnancies are conceived through consensual sexual activity, and how many of them are through sexual abuse.
Because we judge young girls. People judge young girls when they find them pregnant, but my uniform, and it's like you don't even know how it happened.
Yeah. And I think that is where one of the biggest gaps we have in the country, because when even we look at teenage pregnancy, everyone is always judging the girls, like you're saying. But how many of these girls are actually pregnant because of being violated? So I think that there's the gap. How many of our girls know what is right and what is wrong? How many of them know that their body belongs to them, the agency that they have over their bodies? And not even just with girls, but with young boys as well. There are so many children that are molested and they don't even know it. These are things that hit them when they're so much older.
And they're like, wow, I actually
went through that. You know, so I think that there as well, we need to inform these children about the authority that they have over their bodies by fully explaining to them what is acceptable and what is not from as early as we can.
No, Malaka, you are such a force queen. And Yazi, I love that this isn't all about the glitz and the glam for you anymore. It's about not only empowering yourself and developing yourself, but you also care about the young ones. Not only young girls, but young boys as well. So I love your inclusive leadership. Manjege, when we want to make sure that you actually win the title of Miss Intercontinental South Africa,
so the voting lines haven't opened yet, but I will definitely let you know about that, and you can catch up about that on my social media platforms. On Instagram, I am at NBA Malaka, as well as TikTok, and Facebook, I am Neonene Malaka. Yes, so when voting lines open, I will let you know through my social media. But for now, we have an upcoming high tea event on the 13th of July, and I think that that's one of the ways that everyone can help me. I need to sell tickets, okay? It's a women empowerment event. It's going to be lovely. We have so many amazing speakers from the different fields of women taking up space. We have actors coming to speak. We have doctors. We have psychologists.
So you can network.
You can network. You know what I mean? So yeah, please buy tickets and then
So I tell you, tickets
the tickets are 850 rand, and then you buy them through me.
Okay.
Yes.
This is of DM on your socials. One more time, where are your socials?
Instagram is at NBA Malaka, TikTok at NBA Malaka, and Facebook Neo Nini Malaka.
Awesome. Neo, thank you so much for coming, Queen, and have yourself a beautiful weekend and all the best, yeah?
Thank you so much, Karabo.
From Ipiano to Makati.
That was beautiful.
That was amazing.